The Montreal Canadiens just became the most terrifying team in the NHL, as it's official. Ivan Demidov, the leading scorer for SKA St. Petersburg, is on his way to Montreal after having his contract officially terminated by SKA. While they still hold his rights, Ivan Demidov is jumping into a Montreal Canadiens lineup that has won 5 in a row, is likely to make the playoffs in just year 3 of the rebuild, coming over way earlier than anyone could have anticipated since the day he was drafted. We've been waiting for this day, Jesse, and we gotta dive into this. Subscribe to the channel if you want all the latest Ivan Demidov updates. We're only about 500 subs away from 20,000. We know that's gonna go up with Demidov being here. Jesse, how are you feeling right now as it's official? They took a joint decision. He's not going to the VHL like we reported yesterday. His KHL rights remain there, but guess what? He's heading to Montreal. I could not believe this when I saw it. I am honestly in disbelief.
I can't believe exactly what's happening with this team right now. Just so many amazing things where you feel like we got a really good chance of getting in the playoffs. That just improved. Now our chances of winning that first round and beyond, it improved. We just needed that second line scoring. Like, there's a strong structure of this team that's working. We knew what the weak points are, but it's coming over. That points getter. Yes, Ivan Demidov, the man that destroyed Kirill Kaprizov's U20 points record in the KHL, SKA's leading points getter. This guy is just going to be absolutely dynamic. Like, we thought for sure, okay, next year, even Kent was saying, like, it's okay. We're just happy we're going to get him. But joining the team now, we got to say, SKA did us a solid here. We were not expecting, but if you're Russian hockey, why not show the rest of the world that you got one of the best players, one of the best prospects in the game right now? So he's going to come over to Montreal. Who knows? Maybe he can play by this weekend. Like, I just can't wait to see him in that Montreal Canadiens jersey. Josh, I can't believe this is happening.
I can't believe it. Going from the blue, white, and red to the red, white, and blue in his jerseys. It's going to be unbelievable. Biggest question, leave your comment down below. What number is he going to wear? Of course, Oliver Kapanen has 91. Hey, maybe Kapanen gives it up. Maybe there's a bit of a payment there. We know Demidov is going to be making plenty of money. And now if he signs this year, Jesse, he'll be eligible for an extension next summer, which is kind of crazy now that we're thinking about this. But yeah, absolutely. We see the highlights. We see what he can bring to this team. And we've been talking about that second line scoring for a long time. As we also see here, Freeman saying this is legit. I believe it was Marco D'Amico who first had the scoop with RG. But again, you look at the stats, he's still 19. He's not even 20 years old until December, leading your team in the KHL in points. And also, he was only 2 goals off of the team leading goals, despite playing 15 minutes a night. And that's, he started playing more later in the season. And of course, in the playoffs, after being the 13th forward for the first game, came in and played great. He's got NHL size. He's 6'1", 192. He skates fluidly. And like you said, Jesse, being able to jump right into this Habs lineup. Now, we have had some good depth scoring. We've had a couple games where we've maybe not been the best, but Dvorak's been playing great. Newhook's been generating chances. Laine's scoring. Kapanen, we were hoping could be that boost. But to me, especially as we're pushing for the playoffs, I know we've been talking about maybe he works his way up from the bottom 6, but I don't know. I don't think so. My opinion is that he's jumping in right away, and I think he's going to take Kapanen's spot, and I think we see Kapanen's play style fits better with the bottom 6. Demidov's skill play style fits a lot better with a line like Laine Newhook. That's my prediction. I don't think it's crazy. Laine Newhook, Demidov, you put Kapanen down, you replace Pezzetta, you Anderson, Dvorak, Gallagher, Kapanen, Evans, Armia, and Heineman kind of comes in and out for Kapanen is my guess if he's healthy. What do you think about these lines, Jesse? Because again, as we watch these clips, there's a reason I think Montreal is now the scariest team in the NHL. Dallas, the scariest team maybe right now for the immediate cup future. Montreal's future, especially locking Demidov down this early, makes them insanely scary when you look at the age of the guys and just how far they've come in such a short time.
And the Montreal Canadiens are a hot team, and they're just getting that much hotter. Since the midway point of the season, they've been in the top 10 of the NHL in most important metrics that we're looking at here. So not only is he going to bring that scoring to that second line, but there's also that tertiary effect of really activating a Patrik Laine, which with his 20 goals and still this half a season has been largely dormant 5v5. Expect Demidov to help. Patrik Laine has been waiting. They see the game at another kind of wavelength, and this is going to be an amazing combination. Ivan Demidov is going to be a difference maker right from game one. There's some type of guys where you kind of need to wait. No, we're going to see flashes of excellence, of brilliance from him coming in right from the get-go, because he's similar to a Lane Hudson. This is somebody, he puts the time in the gym to be ready to be that key player at certain times. We've seen the highlights that he's done in the KHL. Is there going to be a little bit of adjustment? Yes. But when you're as highly skilled and you put in how much work that Ivan Demidov does, like, Josh, I'm just excited, like, objectively as a hockey fan to see him in the Montreal Canadiens jersey, you know, playing hockey for us. But again, getting in the playoffs, already we've been a scary team because we've just been playing hot when it really matters. You now throw a Demidov into this equation, and again, rewarding a team where they didn't even need a morale boost, but you're kind of bringing them up that much further because this team knows what they really need to take them to the next level. Like, just an amazing bit of work at Kent Hughes. Again, huge W's, you know, to really be able to make this one happen.
Oh, he cooked. He cooked. Someone cooked here, and it was Kent Hughes. Oh my gosh, now we don't know what went down to get him over, because we had, again, reports just yesterday that Demidov was going to the VHL to play with his brother. Sorry, Semyon Demidov. You're not getting your brother. Demidov's coming over here to Montreal. And yeah, absolutely. Getting this injection's insane, especially as you look at the tough stretch down the rest of the way this season. Another back-to-back coming out. Look, I assume Demidov, as of the recording of this video, the ELC is not official, I don't believe, but like, it's going to be, obviously. But I don't think he'll be able to play tonight against Detroit. I think that's a bit far-fetched, but looking at Friday, or even, can you imagine, Jesse, a Saturday night debut against the Toronto Maple Leafs for Ivan Demidov? That would be insane, but again, we have that back-to-back, and we have games against Chicago and Carolina. Now, while Montreal is likely to make the playoffs, you still need to win some of these games, right? And a win against Detroit goes a long way tonight, but this back-to-back this weekend, especially injecting him into the lineup, could be absolutely huge. So the future now, Jesse, is something I'm looking at for the Montreal Canadiens. Not only this little part of the season, this playoffs, which is insane that, like, you know, first of all, that is the most pressing thing. Bringing in one of the best players in the world, not in the NHL, who just happens to also be 19 years old, and who also happens to likely be locked up to your organization for probably 10, 15 years, hopefully, we'll see. But we're looking at the future of the Habs, and again, looking at who's been scoring for this team. We don't know, like, again, like you said, if this can unlock Patrick Laine 5v5, I want to know what kind of contract he might be open to extending once his contract's up after next year. Again, after next year, or 2 years, we still got to sign Newhook and Dach. There's some questions there. But also Lane Hutson, like, looking at the future of this team and all the young guys, Suzuki now being well over a point per game. Slafkovsky is potentially going to, again, set his career high in points this year. Caufield with a career high in goals and points. Just with Hutson developing and Demidov, like, I think it's time to say, Jesse, I mean, I know we made the playoffs this year, but like, is it crazy to say that our legitimate window for contention is opening? Like, I mean, maybe even this year at this point with Demidov, we'll have to see how good he is. Maybe I'm getting a bit overzealous here, but like, next year, again, especially if you make a move this summer, this might be the fastest I've ever seen, or at least that I can remember. Maybe some of you will call us out in the comments, from a team going from pure, utter rebuild tank, get top picks in the draft, to being ready to just shift into that contention window. It's kind of insane.
And this is really, you know, this is really going to restart the rebuild. Like, Kent is really kind of like writing the masterclass on how to do this properly. When you do it right, it's kind of that quick shift from kind of night to day there. And again, you know, with Demidov coming on this team, it allows, like, any head start that we can get on next season. Like, this is just bonus at this point. The quicker that he can start getting the reps, this not only helps for this season, but also starting on time next year. And just the quicker so that this team can really kind of get all acclimatized together, the better. And of course, it just helps with the depth. Like, Oliver Kapanen is a great player, but again, he's just going to make our offering just that much stronger on that third and fourth line. There's that effect of not just that second line getting better, but every other line as a result. This is also opening up things for Nick Suzuki, we have to mention as well. For the longest time, he's had those tougher matchups, again, because the second line isn't playing as much. They're still doing a lot of the heavy lifting, that first line, because they're not quite getting that run support from the second line. This changes, and if there's ever a time to give Nick Suzuki, Cole Caufield, Slav a little bit of support, it's right now, because they've been emptying the tank right now. So to kind of allow them maybe to catch their breath by maybe giving them a shift or two extra there on the bench from time to time, just to get some wind in themselves. Like, that's a big part of this as well. So again, going to be really interesting to see that line with Newhook, with Laine, with Demidov together. Josh, I feel like I'm dreaming right now, because this is like the best case scenario for the Montreal Canadiens right now. Not just making the playoffs, Demidov coming together. Like, it is all lining up right now for our boys.
It is. Like, it's a dream season. The season where we weren't sure. Like, I know, Jesse, we were talking about it. Like, look, if everything goes right, we might be fighting for a playoff spot at the end of this year. That was the take at the beginning of the year. Because, I mean, like, look, we don't know. We didn't know what Laine was going to do. Again, the injury. There was question marks. All these things, like, how's Slav going to develop? How impactful is Hudson going to be? We're like, if everything goes right, we might be fighting for a playoff spot. Not only are we 6 points up on a playoff spot as of the recording of this video, every single thing that could have gone right, minus some injuries, pretty much has gone right. And now Guhle's coming back. Like, what a dream season to get Demidov early. Reinbacher, hopefully those injuries he's had down in Laval aren't too bad, but we're seeing him play again. Reinbacher will be ready for next year. There's so many big things. Let us know your thoughts down below, because again, I think you'll be hard-pressed to find another team that looks better set up for the long-term future than the Montreal Canadiens. Leave some love for Ivan down below. Spam just the letter D in the comment sections for our boy Ivan Demidov. You know how it is. And channel members send those demigod emojis. That's crazy. That'll do it for this episode of Habs Digest. We'll be keeping you up to date on all things Ivan Demidov, and of course, we'll be talking to you after the game versus Detroit tonight, so I hope you subscribe and stick around for all that. I'm Josh Gosse, my coach, Jesse Poirier. Can't believe this is happening. We'll catch you in the next one.